After occupying Victoria Park for close to a month, protesters are frustrated, tired, cold, dirty, and fed up. Recently, London has received help from Toronto and Wall Street protesters, supplying tents, water jugs, and camping supplies.
I was coming down to the park and I'd sit down here and I'd just watch it and listen to it for the first day or 2 or 3 days. And I just watched them. I didn't get involved. I just sat on the bench and I watched what they were doing and how they were talking and behaving. I kind of liked the way they were thinking, and I liked their ideas, and it's like maybe these guys, they might have something on the ball this time. I thought maybe I don't even remember who they are. It's so long ago. There's so much happened since. But just listening to their conversations and watching what they were doing, and I thought, well, they've been in the park for 3 days already. It must be legitimate, whatever it is they're doing, or they've gotten thrown out by now. So I come around and I just kept listening, and there's more and more tents started to come in, and they were actually legitimately setting up. They weren't protesting anybody. They weren't complaining. They weren't doing it. They were sitting around talking about all the different ways that they know that we could maybe change things. I know we can do better. When I see this stuff going on with people sleeping in the parks and doing that, I lose a piece of my soul. And I've only got so much resources, and I can only do so much. I spent my whole life feeding these people because I could be one of them at any time.
Occupy protesters were kicked out of Victoria Park in the early hours of Wednesday morning. This, however, hasn't dampened any spirits. In fact, it seems to have made their movement stronger. The occupiers are ever present in the park, holding meetings, rallies, and making their voices heard. The occupiers are very displeased with the mayor. They are making it clear that they are not going anywhere and that they have plans to reoccupy either at Victoria Park or at another location.
I met this afternoon with the Bishop of the Diocese of Huron and with our legal counsel, and with regard to the opportunity for occupiers to gather on the grounds of the cathedral, we've been informed by our insurance company that in the event that anything happens there is no coverage available.
Despite some conflicts with Mayor Joe Fontana, the occupiers have received a fair amount of support from the community, including London Police and local city businesses. Member of the Occupy movement Eric Shepherd says even though they've lost some footing, the next phase is on its way.
The occupation in Victoria Park was simply phase one of a multi-phase process. The movement continues to grow even after all of these setbacks. We're starting to see now the transition towards phase two of the operation. We're looking for a new space to call our home. There are certain hopeful things and there are certain terrifying things. On the one hand, London is a smaller city than some of the other major cities that have occupation. We don't have as many people, and as such, we don't have the same resources that the other larger occupations may have.
Despite being asked to leave, the Occupy London movement has developed into a stronger than before movement, and they are ready to move forward into their next phase. I'm Amanda Bell, XFM News.